Good morning, CJ. First of all, welcome to DC. Just your thoughts about this team, the organization. Obviously, a lot of young players, but you know your role in it. How you see this part of the season, especially heading into camp, being something that's going to work out for you?
Yeah, I'm excited. I've been here for a little bit. I spent some time with the guys in the summer in Vegas to start, and then I came back a few weeks ago to get some work in with the guys. Obviously, I know DV really well. We were together in Portland. Still one of my good friends to this day, so happy to be back with him. Had some really good conversations with Will, with Winger, and with Coach. So just excited about, the youth, the talent, the energy. Guys love to work out, which is what I'm all about. I believe in growth. I believe in opportunity. I think we have a lot of that. That'll occur this year. Obviously, I've been in the league a long time, so I like to compete. I like to compete at a high level, and I think it stems from preparation and mindset and, how I got to where I'm at today. So I like the building a lot. They got a lot of staff here, very well staffed. Still learning a lot of names. It's like a crash course on, 100 new faces, 100 new names, and the guys are asking questions. Obviously, they're able to see how I work and how I got to where I'm at, within this league in terms of the respect that I have, but also how I play. And I think they'll learn a lot from me just by osmosis, by being around, but also me being able to kind of help out and explain why I do things the way I do, why I prepare the way I do, why I get in at the times that I do, and how you take care of your body and mind, and just continue to become a professional. They're 20 years old, a lot of them. I can't even give them my wine, so I was just like, this is going to be, funny just to kind of see the conversations, the music, all those types of things. But they're really talented guys. They love to work. And I told them today, I told Coach BK, I said, I've been in the league a long time, and obviously I've heard a lot about, the organization and some of the changes that they've made, from the past. And I've never been on a team where guys work out on media day and, it's scheduled. It's optional, but, it's 20 guys in the building, G League included, where guys are getting after it. They lift. The 20-year-olds actually go to their table time. The 20-year-olds, like to work, 21-year-olds. And obviously, Chris and I are the oldest on the team, and we love to work, too. So it's just a great environment for me to be a part of.
Wes Hall, Monumental Sports Network, since we're doing the names and introductions part of that, not a problem with that. I asked Chris this earlier about balancing out your veteran experience and your own individual priorities with helping grow and develop the young guys that are, under you.
Yeah, I love to compete. I love to get after it. So I think for me, it's just about being a pro, approaching the game the right way every day, maximizing my talents, obviously. And that'll come with preparation. That'll come with getting here early, getting what I need for my body, getting what I need for my mind, and then going out there and doing what's asked of me, and doing it at a high level. Historically, that's what I've done. I've been able to adapt, and I played different roles. I played, obviously, alongside some great players. I was in New Orleans with a lot of young talent, and I did different stuff, on the ball, off the ball. I'm comfortable, in all those situations. I can score, obviously. I know how to lead. I know how to follow. So I played a lot of different roles throughout my career. And I think individually, when you do things the right way and you move with good intention, I think it usually works out for you. I never really set statistical goals. It's I want to be as efficient as possible. I want to be in great shape, and I'm in great shape. I took 21 days off to start the season. My last game was March 22nd. We lost to the Detroit Pistons, and then I had a foot bruise and ended up not playing the rest of the year. So I've had a lot of time off to recover, but the longest summer I've ever had in my career. So I've been able to train a lot, work on things that I haven't been able to work on in the past. And I'm excited to play. I'm excited to play at a high level, and excited to play alongside some really good young talent. But in terms of individual goals, I'm going to compete at a high level. I'm a hoop, and I think the rest is going to be what it's going to be.
Hi, CJ. Megan McPeak, also with Monumental.
How you doing?
Good, thank you. When you step into a situation, and I know New Orleans, you had a lot of young guys as well too, but as a vet, what do you want to be able to take away from this young group for yourself, and what do you also hope they take away from you as you progress throughout this season?
I think I'll start with what I hope they take away from me. I think just my approach. There's a lot of different ways to be successful in this league, but consistency matters. So with time you get to the gym, what are you working on when you work out? Are you getting your table work in? Are you lifting? What are you eating? Are you getting your sleep? So I think they'll be able to ask me questions, obviously, and I'll be able to share my experiences. But I think a lot of it is them just being able to see, this is year 13 for me, and, I like to get here early. I like to stay late. Obviously, I got kids. I'm married, so my lifestyle is different than a lot of them, at 20. But just being able to help give them information in terms of how they should schedule their days out, like how they should be approaching off days. Those little things that I think are helpful to establish good patterns and good consistency. And then, can you repeat the first part of your question?
What do you hope you can maybe take away from this young group?
Yeah, I think the energy, the youthful energy, and just the appreciation. You know, I always say, you know, I don't want to ever take the game for granted. I've been here a long time. I've done a lot of these media days, and sometimes it gets, you know, it becomes a job. And when it's a job, I don't want to play anymore. So I want to continue to have that youthful energy. I want to continue to love it. And I woke up today excited, even though it's my 13th time, you know, having media day, just excited about another opportunity to play the game that I prayed for my whole life. So I just want to continue to approach it the right way, and continue to remember, like, once upon a time, like, I was them, right? Like, I was the youngest on the team. Like, everything was new. I was learning and experiencing new moments and growth moments on the fly, and now I understand, like, you know, Chris Kaman, Mo Williams, Earl Watson. I played with LA. I played with Wes, Steve Blake. I mean, I played with so many guys that were, you know, low 30s, and I was like, damn, they old, you know what I mean? And now that's me. So it's like, it's funny to see through like that lens of, you know, when I'm, you know, 21, I first got into the league, and now I'm 34. Like the differences in the game, but also like how I think, how I play, how I prepare, how I like do everything. Like I have a better appreciation of like, oh, I get it now. So it's just, I think that's just one point of view that I have.
And then you have a journalism background. You obviously have your podcast, and the writing you do with the Players Tribune. How important is it going into year 13 to emphasize to these guys to pour into yourself as CJ the person, to be able to then be CJ the player, the dad, the husband? How important is it for you to also make sure that the young guys are understanding that, but then also yourself?
Yeah, it's tough. Like, I went to school for 4 years. I went to Lehigh University, obviously, and I mean, I was the first player to ever go to the NBA from Lehigh. So, like, I was just establishing, like, what am I going to do when I'm not hooping no more? You know what I mean? Type of mentality. Like, I want to make sure I have everything set up. Like, I want to do broadcasting, I want to do journalism, I want to be in real estate. And I just kind of, you know, built out things that, you know, made me happy. I call them, you know, passions and hobbies that are like healthy hobbies, right? Like yoga, stuff like that. But these were things that I knew would be beneficial to my development as a basketball player, right? Help me talk to the media better, but help me have a better perspective of sports in general. And then I got experience to where I could be able to cover the sport when I retired. But for them, especially the young fella from Texas, I was telling them, I was like, what do you do besides play basketball? And I had to envision like what it was like when I was 19, you know, and I was still in college with an NBA. And he was like, I just sleep. And I was like, bro, you gotta like find something else. Like, you don't play video games? He's like, no. He's like, all I do is hoop. And I was like, that's great, and like that's important, and that's the type of mentality you gotta have. But I was like, you need an escape. Like, I was like, this is about to be 82 games, practice every day. You only off once every 6 days. We're gonna be in new cities every night. We're gonna be landing. I was like, you're gonna need like something to do on that off day. That's not basketball, like massage, yoga, whatever. So we were just talking. I was just thinking like, what did I do when I was 20? And I was like, it's like, damn, I didn't have like I played video games for like a year, and then I stopped playing video games, and then I started had my own radio show. So like that was like an hour out of the day where I could just like get away from basketball. But I said it's 24 hours in a day, so you got to find some hobbies. I was like, I'll send you some books, I'll send you some stuff, but like you got to find something else that you can escape the game from, because like if you don't have an escape, you'll go crazy. And that's what I've noticed in this sport. Without balance, there's chaos. And I think, you know, for me, I've tried to continue to figure out ways to have balance in my life, and I ain't perfect, but I think it's just funny. Like I try to envision like when I was 20, like what was I doing after practice? Because like now, like my life is planned out. Like I got stuff to do, but when I was 20, it was like, do I want to play 2K? Like 3-hour nap? Like what am I going to do? And then it's like 5 o'clock. I go back to the gym, I guess. But that's been an interesting, just conversations of like how do you structure your day when you're 20 and you just by yourself.
CJ, David Aldridge with The Athletic. That's a great answer, man. That's a great. It's so hard to win in this league, and this franchise has not won for a very, very long time. They're trying to build it back up to where it needs to be. How difficult is it to be intentional every day in terms of these are the habits that lead to winning, even if we're not winning at the level we want to be winning at right now?
Yeah, it's very difficult, and you know, I didn't lose a lot. I haven't lost a lot in my career. So, like, it's, you know, I went to the playoffs 9 straight years, I think. Almost 10. We lost to New Orleans in the playing game to OKC a few years ago, and that was my first time not making it. But it's just, you build winning habits, and I kind of compare it to, like, and this is an extreme example, but, like, how I raise my kids, right? Like, discipline, like saying please and thank you, even if they don't know how to say it. Like, I'm just always instilling it in my daughter, like, say thank you. And she's like, thank you. Like, she can't really talk yet, like, she's learning. And my son, now that he's, you know, 3, almost 4, like, he gets it. So he says please and thank you, or like, he's like, Marco, you can't do that. Like, it's instilling in him, you know, years and years of doing things the right way, clean up after yourself. We sing the clean up song, we pray before we eat, we pray before we sleep. Like, even when he didn't know how to do it, it's instilling in him, like, the foundation of this is what's acceptable, this is what's not. Even when he doesn't know any better. I think the same thing applies to sports. When you have a young team, even though they don't know what winning habits look like, they're building habits, right? Like, they're here today. I was here at, you know, 7:45. There was 8 guys here. And then at 8 o'clock, there was 15 guys here. And then at 8:30, the G League team is here, and everybody on the Wizards team is here. So it's like, it's instilling habits of getting in the building, eating breakfast, get your table work in, get on the court. It's like a daily vitamin. And each day you take your daily vitamin, you stack those days, and you may not get the results right away. It's like a 21-day fitness challenge, right? Like, you're eating well, but, like, you're not losing weight. So it's like you're doing the right things, you're building the right habits. It's only a matter of time before you have a breakthrough. And I think the same thing applies to this team. They're young, they're talented, but they like basketball, and they live it. And I've been around a long time, and I always say it's not the best, you know, 450 players. It's the 450 players that fit the best, that do things the right way. And it's like 100 of the best, like, talent players, and then it's like 300 of the guys that just fit the right roles. And then 50 that are just like, you know, it's a great piece and, like, a good person, and they're always on time. So it's like instilling those habits early on is extremely vital to success. And you may not win right away. It may take you 2 years, but, like, your 20-year-olds are going to be 25 one day. And you want to make sure those 20-year-old habits are good and they're heading in the right direction, so that when they are 25 and they are 26 and, like, your window to win is now, like, a la OKC, like, everybody is ready, everybody works hard, everybody knows what they're supposed to do, they understand how to play the game. There's a standard. Even though you're losing, you can still have a standard of, like, what's acceptable and what's not in terms of how you play. Maybe it's a talent deficiency, or maybe you're just young and you just lose games at the end because you don't know how to win. But, like, you should be playing hard, you should be working hard, and you should be doing things the right way, and you should be able to be held accountable for your actions. Missing shots and making shots is not the end-all be-all. Like, were you in the right spot? Did you swing, and then he just missed it, and it's like, it is what it is, or did you just look him off? Like, those are habits that you have to build. If I miss my defensive assignment, even though I'm the second oldest on the team, the 20-year-old should be like, yo, you're supposed to rotate, and I should be like, yeah, you're right. And it shouldn't be a whole back and forth. So I think those are ways that you build, you know, winning habits. It's like, I try not to say shut up in the house, right? Because my son gonna be like, shut up. You know what I mean? So it's like, you got to practice what you preach, you know what I'm saying? So if I'm going to challenge people and hold them accountable, they got to be able to do the same for me, and I invite that, and I think that's what leads to success long term.
Morning, CJ. 𝗙𝗢𝗟𝗢𝗪, 𝗏 Sports Network. How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
Good, thanks. Wanted to ask you about Bub Carrington. Chances are you're going to be sharing the court with him a lot this season in the backcourt. 2-part question. How do you plan on working with him on the court, feeding off of him, and vice versa? And what have your initial interpretations of him been off the court as a person, as a teammate?
No, he's got a good personality. He's from B-More. And first of all, he's a Ravens fan. We have the same record as the Ravens right now as a Browns fan, so it's a tough year for you guys right now. But I think he's passionate. He loves the game. He's a competitor. He played all 82 last year, which is hard to do in this league, right? As a rookie, he's taller. You know, I think he's probably grown since last year. Athletic, fast, quick twitch. Defensively, he's competitive. He competes. The jumper is improving. Like, he's putting the time in to kind of work on the consistency and the release, the balance. He asks questions. We were talking about, like, routines. What do I do? The other day he was like, damn, like, go home. It's like, why are you still here? And I was like, yo, one day you're going to be 34 and you're going to be stretching, and the 20-year-old going to walk up to you and you're going to laugh and be like, I remember when I was that guy. I said, you got to take care of yourself, you know, before you have an issue, right? Like, you played 82 last year. I said, I'm taking care of myself before my calves or my Achilles or my foot or my shoulder. Like I said, I'm taking care of it in advance. Like I don't have to be injured to get treatment. It's like I'm just making sure I'm proactive. But he asks the right questions. He works, and I think he wants to be good, and that's the important part. Like everybody has the tools and the resources, but like who actually really wants it? Like we all got it's 30 teams with 30 staffs. We all got 24 hours scan in, scan out access, but it comes down to who really wants it. Like how determined are you to be successful, and what are you willing to sacrifice in order to accomplish that? And I think he has the right mentality and approach to the game.
Chris, last one, and then we got to move to CJ, Chris Miller from 𝗦𝗢𝗖𝗓𝗡 Sports Network. When you walked in, I'm having a flashback of me calling your 50 points you gave the Wizards last year. So I'm kind of curious where you are. You talked about March. You kind of had to shut it down, but what have you done since March to now to get yourself ready for another season?
Yeah, I mean, I've had 13 summers to figure out exactly what I need to get ready for a season. Obviously, there's been different situations. I've been utilized differently, probably 9 out of those 13 years. I did exactly what I needed to do to be ready to play as many minutes as I need to play in any role that I need to play. From a conditioning standpoint, I started conditioning earlier, started on the track earlier, lateral movement stuff, obviously the shooting, the handles. That is what it is. Like that just, respectfully, it's just really how it's supposed to be. But I think looking at my game and how my game has aged alongside the NBA, like I can shoot threes, I got a midi, I got a floater, I can run a pick and roll, I can score an ISO, but it's just about lateral movement is huge. Guys are getting faster, they're more athletic, so how you move laterally, can you guard pick and rolls, can you help? And then like we're gonna play fast because we're really young, so being able to run the floor, being able to pass ahead, being able to talk, and I think a lot of that is conditioning. Talking while you're tired, like you ever try to run and be talking, like jogging? So like being able to be in better shape, being able to sleep more. I got my PT, my movement specialist is here, just landed. So like I got everything I need to be successful. Now it's just about showing up. I just clock in. Now I did what I was supposed to do. So I'm excited about the year. I think this will be my best year yet. I said that last year, and it was a pretty good year. I was very injured, so it was difficult to win games. But physically, I felt great. I'm in better shape now than when I had 50 against you guys last year, which is funny. It's funny to think about.
Lastly, it's one thing to be one of 450 when you first get into this league, but how do you remain one of 450 as long as you have and imply and actually teach these players what it takes to get a second contract, a third contract?
Yeah, I mean, I said the same thing to my guys, Herb, Trey, Jose, and they watched. And I said, look, man, I don't have the answers to everything, man, but I know how to make money. I was like, I know how to stay in the league. I know how to do things the right way. I know how to be valuable. I know how to show up on time. I know how to take coaching. I don't get in trouble off the court. I know how to invest. I said, I know how to do a lot of things right, and I know what not to do because I've seen it. So I'm like, if you just watch, ask questions, and learn, I don't have all the answers, man, but I can help you make a little bit more money if you just pay attention. And they listen, they ask questions, and Herb cashed out. He signed another deal. Trey, $100 million. Jose's going to get paid again. They ask questions, they listen, and I think for me it's about, like, we have all these examples of what success looks like. It's like, follow the examples. Like, don't be afraid to ask the right questions. Before I invested in real estate, I called Junior Bridgman, and I asked him about investing. I asked him about franchising. I asked Don Peoples about real estate. Like, I don't have an ego when it comes to, like, information. Like, I asked Eric Snow, like, how did you stay in the league? Keith McLeod, how did you stay in the league? Gary Grant, what do you wish you could have done better? So it's like, I asked Steph. I call Steph. How do you shoot so good? You know what I mean? It's like I don't have an ego. Like, whatever it comes to improving my game, I used to guard Wesley Matthews in the post because I needed to guard better in the post, and he guarded me in the perimeter. I used to guard Melo in the post. I was like, all right, I got to get better. I guard post. So it's like, I like to ask questions, and I think for young players, if you want to be in the league, like, just look around, see who's hanging around, see who continues to get contract after contract, see who's getting 20 million, see who's getting 10, see who's getting 5 and they shouldn't be getting 5, and go talk to them. Like this is year 16, like you getting signed early, like how, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's important. Like, this is money that you're gonna need when you're 50. You know what I mean? Like, it's reversed for us. Like, earning potential max right now, you're talking 20 to 35, which is not how it is in the real world. And you got to maximize your earning potential. And for me, I maximized my blessings. I went to Lehigh. I graduated, I got a degree, I work for ESPN, I've done all these things, and I still play at a high level, and I'll play at a high level again this year. And the blessing is that I'll be able to stop playing when I want to stop playing. Like, I won't get forced out. It'll be like, all right, this was fun, I'm moving on, as opposed to guys that get forced out for not doing things the right way.